Welcome back to another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place for all of us. I'm your host, Chris Wright, along with Chief Deputy Matthew Wade from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Matthew, good to see you again.
Good to be back on the show, Chris. Always a good week here when we are putting bad guys in jail and getting people's property back.
We did a good job of that this week.
We did a good job this week. We got 10 arrests, brings our count up to 3,330 people put behind bars, all because you were willing to get involved, and we appreciate that.
It's St. Patrick's Day edition of the show. Got my green tie on. And
this looks blue, but it's really green. It's green and green tie. So
if it doesn't look green on TV, it's not really green, so I get to pinch you, right?
Go for it.
Not that I have any real desire to do that. We've got St. Patrick's Day tonight, but we've also got some other festive events going on right now. It's prom season. A lot of the kids are going to their junior, senior proms, and this is a time that a lot of people make their first big mistake.
Absolutely. It's a magical time for these kids. They want to go out and have a good time and do things that makes lifelong memories. For parents, it's a nervous time. It's a time that they worry about their children's safety and what they'll be doing and how they'll be handling themselves. And nothing replaces talking to your child, teaching them, telling them the dangers, and hoping that they make good choices, because in the end, they will be able to make a choice, whether it's a good one or not. But stay on top of your children, know what they're doing, who they're hanging out with, and where they're going, and be safe. Had a prom just this past weekend. They had an open house party. Parents could be arrested for throwing a party and allowing underage people to drink. Yeah, they could go to jail for that. Always use good decision making and try to keep people off drugs, off alcohol, and safe.
A lot of times we build the prom up to be some really big event, and then if the kids show up at the dance and it's not that big event, they want to escalate things however they're able to get to where the night becomes what they thought it should be. So we need to talk about realistic expectations and what is and is not acceptable.
That's right. You don't want any child to be ruined or injured or killed all because of one night, because of a bad choice or bad decisions. And sometimes it's not them making the bad decisions. They're just with people who are making bad decisions in a vehicle or drugs or alcohol's around, and that's just, parents, you got to watch out for it, talk to them about it, make sure they understand, and hopefully they'll make a better and wiser choice. And it never, ever hurts to go follow up and check on your children. They don't like it.
No.
But if they know that, hey, my mom and dad will check up on me, that accountability seems to work pretty good as well.
Talking to the other parents, that kind of thing.
Yes, communication is key.
Absolutely. That's what this show is all about, communicating. We share information with you, you share information with us, and it all works out great for everybody except for the people who are trying to avoid getting caught, which is okay with us.
This is okay with us. Maybe that accountability will change their ways.
Absolutely. All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality.
And Sunny King Ford has the lowest price and largest inventory. new or pre-owned.
The F-150 has dominated the American truck market for over 38 years running. And now with EcoBoost, you get the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity.
The iconic Mustang with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down style preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford for the best cars.
At the best price.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston with Family Links, and I'm joined today by Amaya Reese, Sachs High School senior. And this is the parenting tip of the week. Kids love to partake in as many activities as possible. There's football, basketball, theater, and the list goes on. What kind of activities are you involved in, Amaya?
I'm involved in the Calhoun County Career Tech Center. I am an ambassador, and I'm also vice president. I've also taken part in the court cues at Sachs High School, been a part of FCCLA and FBLA.
Wow. With all these activities, there are the parents trying their best to uphold a balanced schedule and budget, since many of these activities need money. Everything is in order until your child tells you they no longer want to pursue an activity, and it's only the first week, or it gets really difficult and they want to quit. Have you ever felt like quitting something?
I have been guilty of quitting.
Well, at first, most parents probably agree to let their child quit, but if you pay close attention, you'll soon realize it's an unhealthy pattern. If you allow your child to quit something he or she loves but is afraid to pursue it because it's hard for them, they may believe they do not have what it takes to move forward, and it'll only lead to the following things.
First, your child may always quit.
The more they quit, the less they'll learn the meaning of stability. They'll never determine a true liking for something. They'll assume the same quitting behavior as they grow older. They may quit jobs because they feel bored, or quit relationships because a girlfriend or boyfriend cancel a dinner. Quitting becomes too easy.
Second, your child may not commit.
Children will have a difficult time adjusting and committing to new things. Of course, they'll be open-minded to something new at first, but when it comes too much for them, they'll always walk away. And as adults, they'll do the same. For example, if they choose to marry and have a family of their own, but recognize it was more than they bargained for, they will quit.
Third, they will always fear.
Children fear the unknown and will quit whatever it is because they do not know. Once fear is in them at a young age, they'll grow with that same fear as adults. They will likely live differently than you would hope for them as a parent. Children are always experimenting with different ideas and activities, and that is because they're trying to discover who they are and what they actually take pleasure in doing. They'll dare to quit at the first sign of hardship, even if they love that activity. And that's where you, as a parent, come in to tell them quitting is not the answer. Help your child to work through their issues and then move forward. For more parenting tips, please contact Family Links at 256-820-5911.
Welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up this week, Derek Matthews. Mr. Matthews, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation violation on possession of marijuana first. And meet Willard Quinn. Mr. Quinn, last known to be living in Gadsden, he's wanted for receiving stolen property second. And this is Jonathan Bishop. Mr. Bishop, last known to be living in Oxford, he's wanted for failure to appear on attempt to manufacture a controlled substance. And we'd like you to take a look at Helene Lopez. Miss Lopez, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted on bond revocation for obstruction of justice by giving a false ID. And this is Billy Hayes. Mr. Hayes, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation revocation on possession and receipt of a controlled substance. And last up for our first half, Anton Russell. Mr. Russell, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on distribution of a controlled substance. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the day.
All right, we are back. We'll have more bad guys for you here in just a minute, but it's time to talk about child abuse. That's never fun, is it, Matthew?
It's never fun. It's never fun.
But at least we've got some good people to talk to about it. Elaine and Whitney joining us from the Calhoun Cleveland Children's Center. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
And I can't believe it's already been a year since the last time we drove down Quintard Avenue and saw all the pinwheels on the side of the road. We do that every year in April for Child Abuse Prevention Month.
Yes.
So all those pinwheels that we see, those will be going up the 1st of April, I guess? Or
They'll go up March 31st.
March 31st. And each one of those pinwheels represents a child.
Yes, a child that we've interviewed at the Children's Center.
A child in Calhoun County?
A child in Calhoun and Cleveland County that has been reported to possibly have been abused.
How many pinwheels did we have up last year? Do you remember?
Last year it was a little over 300. This year it will be 430. So we have over 100 more interviews that we did over the past year.
Why is the number growing? Is it because we're better able to get out and talk to the kids, or are we having more instances of abuse? Or
I like to think that it's because we have such a good system in our county with reporting. We have teachers that report. We have a very good relationship with DHR and law enforcement in the DA's office. We all get together and we all have a system for bringing children to the Children's Center to be interviewed. And I think that because our DA's office is so behind what we do, that we just interview the children that need to be interviewed.
all right, well, tell us about this sign that Matthew's holding.
This is a poster. It's part of our T-shirt campaign. Our T-shirt sales are our big fundraiser for the year for the Children's Center. We are a nonprofit agency, so T-shirt sales helps to keep us going. So for Prevention Month, we always sell T-shirts, and we have someone to design them. And that is a poster that you can also purchase for a yard sign. So we do yard signs also. But this year's design was by a student at the Creative Circus in Atlanta, Lindsay Whedon. And so she designed our shirt, and it's One Child Too Many, and that it's hard to see, but there's a mother bird holding a baby bird.
The mother, and there's the baby.
And there's the baby.
Yeah. Okay.
And what we hope people get out of that is that even one child being abused is too many. We have 430 children that we've interviewed, 430 pinwheels, but even one would be too many.
All right, so you're not anti-child.
No,
one child is not too many to have in your household. It's just one too many to have abused.
Sometimes it is. But that's not what we're trying to get across. One child being abused is too many children.
Absolutely.
Being abused.
So these T-shirts, I see them up
these
every year, and this is a really nice design. I like this design.
Thank you. I think it is also. It's a little more colorful than sometimes we've had. But this is our T-shirt. And when we sell our T-shirts, we also have on the back, although we don't have it on the back of this one's plain, but when we sell them, they will have our sponsors on the back. And so along with selling the T-shirts, we ask companies to sponsor us.
Is it too late to do that for this year?
It is probably too late to sponsor, maybe not.
They need to call
the printer
immediately.
is working on T-shirts right now. We have a lot of sponsors, and Whitney has a list, and if you don't mind, I'd like for her to thank our sponsors.
Okay, go ahead.
We have different levels, and that would be depending on the
amount
of money for the sponsorship. And so our gold sponsors this year are BBB's LLC and the Jacksonville Exchange Club. Our silver sponsors this year are the Calhoun Power Company, Calhoun County Insurance, Temp Force Smart Staffing Solutions, AFGE Local 1945, and Boozer Laminated Bean Company. And our bronze sponsors are the City of Weaver, Sunny King Honda, Thomas Accounting and Tax Service, Anniston General Surgery Center, Green Oil Company, and Waldrop Manufacturing Company.
All right, and how much are the T-shirts, and where can we get them?
The T-shirts are $10. You can get them at the Children's Center. You can call 238-0902 and order. We're taking pre-orders right now, but we always order extra. So if you don't get your pre-order in, just call us. We'll have extra T-shirts in all sizes.
And anybody that gets a pistol permit or come to the sheriff's office, we sell them for them as well. So you come into the sheriff's office to do any type of business, then while you're picking up your pistol permit, pick up a T-shirt and know that the money's going to help children in this county or in Cleveland County, and goes to a good cause.
If you see somebody that's wearing one of these T-shirts, let them know that you appreciate them supporting the kids that are defenseless.
Absolutely. These people do a great job on interviewing these children in a professional, forensic way where these children are exposed to the least amount of trauma. And it's important to know that our protocol in Calhoun County, I would say, is one of the best in the nation, and really, really proud of how we do it. It is a unique way that these children can be served and get justice, and putting them at the least amount of damage.
All right. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk, if we can, about some ways that we can actually prevent child abuse, some tips that you can give us to be watching out for, that kind of thing. And also, I know we've got a big event coming up here very soon that will be helping out the Calhoun Cleveland Children's Center. So we'll be talking about that when we come back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead,
drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch
like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
But now I am
sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality.
And Sunny King Ford has the lowest price and largest inventory, new or pre-owned.
The F-150 has dominated the American truck market for over 38 years running. And now with EcoBoost, you get the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity.
The iconic Mustang with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down style preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sunny King Ford for the best cars.
At the best price.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Ronald Merritt. Mr. Merritt, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property second and making a terrorist threat. And take a look at Sandra Lloyd. Miss Lloyd, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property first. Meet Ronald Seymour. Mr. Seymour, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to appear on domestic violence second. And here is Daniel Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds, last known to be living in Weaver. He's wanted for probation revocation on theft of property third. And this is David Duke. Mr. Duke, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to pay on use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And last up in our lineup this week, Erika Bailey. Ms. Bailey, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property third. And that's our lineup this week. If you have any information on the whereabouts of these folks, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414.
We'll have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show coming up in just a few minutes. Also, our crazy criminal is on the way. Somebody who tried a disguise that didn't work out too well. But we'll get into that in just a few minutes. We're talking with Elaine and Whitney from the Calhoun Cleburne Children's Center. A big month in April. It's Child Abuse Prevention Month. We've talked a little bit about the t-shirt sales that you've got going on to help raise some money for what you do. We've talked a little bit about the pinwheels that are going to be going up to see the hundreds of kids that you've interviewed over the last year because of potential child abuse cases. Let's talk about actually on an individual level, what can we do to prevent child abuse?
I would say the biggest thing that you can do is talk to your kids, no matter what age they are. For a couple of reasons, but one of those, we get some young children in, and if they're not used to talking to their parents or other adults, they don't know how to give good information if something does happen to them. Mm-hmm. So that everyday talking after school when they come in, what did you do today? And listening to everything, even though they ramble on forever.
Yes, they do.
It's very important that they learn how to communicate. I've not interviewed this child. but
that wasn't an omission.
But not just talking about what they do during the day. Know their friends. Know who they're hanging out with. A big thing that we do right now, we're seeing a lot of kids that are getting involved in some bad things on telephones and computers. There are a lot of apps out there where kids can send pictures of themselves and it disappears, and people can meet strangers online that used to we didn't have to worry about somebody from another state knowing our kid, but today people all over the world can contact our kids through their little device that they carry with them everywhere.
Yeah. My son William, he's 8 years old. He plays video games on his iPad, and he's got one game in particular that he loves where you can talk to the other people that are playing the game. And we had to have the discussion of, you don't know these people, you can't just be having a discussion with them. So now he's allowed to play the game when I'm there, and anytime he wants to send any information, if he's going to type hello or thank you, he has to ask me before he does it. There are so many things that we have to watch out for as parents these days. So many tools that we can give to help keep our kids occupied and help them learn things and do good things, but you have to be on top of it.
You have to be on top of it. Whitney, there's some site that even young kids can reach other kids, a social media. What is that called?
And I'm not very, very familiar, but I believe it's Tango. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's for the younger, like, 8, 9, 10-year-old children, where they can get on and they can communicate and,
Anything can be abused.
Anything can be abused. There's all types of apps out there. Nothing replaces talking to your children. I have a daughter, and I've talked to her numerous times about sexting. She's only 14, but I said, look, these boys are going to ask you, and you're come a point in time you might think you're in love, but just know this. If you give them that power over you, they're going to show their friends. It's going to be when you walk down the hall, their buddies are going to look at you, and they're going to have seen it. It's not that it might happen. It's gonna happen. And it's kind of like the old adage, you got to talk to them. I can't keep her from making that decision. Even if I didn't give her a device, there's so many devices at school, there's friends have devices.
Right.
It can happen whether they have a device or not. In today's world, the best thing to do is educate, talk, try to make them understand that's not a good choice, and here's the repercussions of why. And just like the Children's Center has said, they see a lot of cases with this. These girls and these school kids have all heard in schools across this county of horror stories where some girl and boy have been in trouble for sending pictures.
I see somebody at least once a week. It's all the time.
And what these children don't realize, once they take an underage picture of themselves that's naked, that's child pornography, and once they send it, it's distributing child pornography, which is Class A felonies. That phone, once that pornography's been on that phone, they will never get it back when we get our hands on it. It will be destroyed. So parents need to understand, don't get mad at us when your iPhone...
Even if you spent $600 for it?
Even if you spend $600 for your iPhone, it shall be destroyed if child pornography's on it.
Real quick before we wrap up, I know we've got an event coming up here in a few weeks that will be a fun event that helps raise awareness and money for the Children's Center.
Yes, it's the Foothills Family Festival. And that will be at Fort McClellan. We'll have craft booths and food booths and free music. Everything is free. The entrance is free. We'll have T-shirts there, of course. We'll have lots of pinwheels. We'll have bouncy houses and different things for kids to play on. There's something for the whole family.
Runners, or there's a 5K run, I believe.
There is
and there's
a 5K
also
run.
the car show.
There's a car show, and
just a big fun day for everybody in the family.
For everybody.
What's the date on that, so we can go ahead and put it on the calendars?
April the 25th.
April 25th.
April
Okay, the
25th.
Foothills Family Festival.
The gates will open at 9.
All right. Folks, look that up, and hopefully we'll see you out there. That's all the time we have for this, but we will be right back to wrap up the show with our crazy criminal of the week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Your word is rigmarole,
Can you define it?
a long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved.
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was
Homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost. But now I am sober.
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to put your deer stalkers on and help us with these cases. First up, on March 9th, this residence on Nature Trail in Jacksonville was broken into. They got away with a camera. And sometime between March 8th and March 9th, a red 2000 Mercury Cougar was stolen from an apartment complex on Blackberry Lane in Alexandria. The vehicle was later recovered, abandoned in the 2100 block of Mount View Road in Wellington. And sometime between March 9th and March 10th, a building on Halsey Lane in Jacksonville was broken into. They got away with 2 chainsaws. And sometime between March 5th and March 7th, another building located on Hollingsworth Road in Jacksonville was broken into. They got away with chainsaws, a backpack blower, and power tools. And sometime on March 11th, this residence on Boiling Springs Road in Ohatchee was broken into. Firearms and electronics were stolen. And sometime between February 11th and March 14th, a vacant mobile home located on Webster's Road in Wellington was broken into. They got away with assorted tools. And last up on our caseload this week, between March 12th and March 13th, a silver 2010 Scion was broken into while parked at a residence on Possum Trot Road in Piedmont. Birthday party decorations were stolen from that vehicle. If you have any information on these cases, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers. That number, 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Our crazy criminal this week, Matthew, is an individual who was trying to flee the police. They caught him. Then he got away again and is trying to get away. He's running through this crowd. I don't know. He's looking for a way to disguise himself. And he found a disguise.
Did he dress like a woman?
No. Jose Espinoza is his name.
Did he have a fake beard?
Did not have a fake beard. He had a bunch of tattoos. You couldn't see all of them, though, because he decided to disguise himself as a person of color. Got a can of black spray paint and spray painted himself. Have we got the picture here? There's Jose.
He looks like he got in a fight and somebody held him down and spray painted him is what that looks like. I mean, he only got half his face. I mean, you want to go, what was he thinking?
Is that going to keep people from noticing him, or is that going to cause people to notice him?
Yeah, if he walked by me, I'd be like, why'd that dude spray paint himself for? That's odd.
Yeah.
That's what they would call an attention getter.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jose, for drawing everybody's attention to you so that you could be caught.
We appreciate the help. Thank you very much.
That's all the time that we have for this week. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup and hopefully not with spray paint all over yourself on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.